What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to hop on here and kind of discuss why I'm taking about 23,000 shares of ALLR long overnight. And I was buying it after hours. My average is not the best. My average is just about $1. I thought we were going to get a little bit bigger of a push after hours, although we didn't really get it. But we did hold the highs of the day. And really develop the pattern that I do like to see after hours, just like a consolidation that holds. It tries to break down, kind of has somewhat of a pop towards the close. I would have liked to see it close a little bit stronger than this, but there's a gap to fill to the 140 area. There's some resistance at 125. And in my opinion, tomorrow morning we can get a clear shot to 120s. I mean, just right off the open, the first opening candle could pop up there. So a little bit why I'm long. Not really so much the news, believe it or not. It's more of just a technical pattern of the chart. So you can see basically today the stock just went sideways all day. They have a $5 million repurchase program. And honestly, that's not even the best news. Like, it sounds like really good news. Like, yeah, they're going to repurchase a bunch of stock. But I just don't see it really. I don't see it be a huge catalyst. Usually a really good catalyst for these small cap stocks is like they got rid of an offering that they were going to do. So if they had an S1 and they terminated the S1 or something, that will move a stock really good. NASDAQ listing requirement, if they can regain NASDAQ listing requirements, that's good. Regain compliance is what I'm saying. But really, what got me interested is if we go to FinViz here, you could see we have a 3 million share float on this stock. Dilution tracker showing about a 4 million. So roughly, we know that there's only about roughly under 5 million shares of this stock. We were trading about 11,000, almost 12,000 shares on the day. So roughly that's 2 times the float, 2 to 3 times the float, depending on which source you use. So just say 2 times the float. It hasn't rotated that much. It hasn't really got super crowded, in my opinion. It's not overblown. If we look here, it's only, even at the highs, it was only up 35%. I think this thing has yet to really run, and that's why I'm so aggressive on it. On this play, my original thesis was my risk is kind of under 90 cents, and then now I'm kind of moving my risk up a little bit. So tomorrow, if we don't shoot up off the open and we start to break down 95 cents, I really might start peeling it off. Just start getting out of it. It'll be a little bit bigger loss than my average trade. I'm at the point to where on my best trades I try to risk between $400 to $600. This trade I'll probably lose $1,000 at least, if not $2, if things get really bad for me. But I feel it justifies, the setup justifies it. And if I'm lucky, I can maybe even hit out around 95 or 94 and maybe lose, I do have a dollar average, which is pretty bad, honestly. So I'll probably lose $1,000 or more on this trade. So I'm willing to do that. Hell, I'm even willing to lose $2,000 on the play, which is a lot bigger than my normal size just because of the way the pattern is. Also, another thing, if we go look at the short float, 18% of the 18%, so it's a high short interest basically. There's a ton of people that shorted this stock, a ton of people that are short, a lot of people shorting it. So I feel like it can squeeze major. It can squeeze hard. I think it can go to 160 tomorrow or even higher. Ideally, I think it goes to 140 to fill that gap. I probably will take most of my shares off into the 120s because that's just, if I can get that, I'll be happy. I'll take most of my shares off and I'll leave some to ride to fill that gap. And by the time it fills that gap, I'll probably be out of the stock. I'm not looking to hold and hope. But this is first target. This is second target. And yeah, basically that's just how it goes. I mean, I really could immediately, if it doesn't go, if it doesn't start working, I could start hitting out and get out around 90, probably around 96, 95, and take just about $1,000 loss on it. It may be a little bit difficult to get out in the morning if there isn't liquidity, but I would imagine there's some liquidity. But sometimes, man, it's like you have feelings on plays, and I really am convicted in this trade, and I want to risk as much as I've been trying to push myself to risk more. So, this is a stock that can move, and I got 20-something thousand shares. It could be a really good day tomorrow because these things can just pop. I've seen them pop immediately. The first 5-minute candle, it goes 40%. Literally, I've seen it. Not too long ago. What was it? HSDT or something, HDST or something like that. And I sold into the close. I sold most of my shares into the freaking close, and I remember it popped like 140 right in the open. And I was just like, dang, man. So that's what I got going on, and that's how I feel. I'm also long a little bit of SETI, just because I've been seeing this pattern kind of play out. Spike, and then it looks like it almost fails, but it kind of just holds. And I long some in here. I first was initially long right here, and I didn't sell into any of this, and I got out just about break even. I think I got out with like $100 loss, and then I rebought down here at 70 because I think we can get a nice morning spike up into the 80s, maybe even through highs and fill a gap at 104. I wouldn't be surprised on that. If we look at one of the plays, what was the play from Friday? Oh man, a CLRO. As you can see, similar pattern kind of, and it just boop straight up through the highs. I was wanting to. I actually, matter of fact, I didn't get my fill on CLRO. I still got 3 shares. See, I was trying to buy at 66. Let's see where that was. It was in here. I was trying to buy, and I didn't get my fill, and I was just like, you know what? It's whatever. I had kind of a bad day on TRNR. I just couldn't get it, and you know what? TRNR ended up just going right to where just doing exactly what I thought it would do. It literally fills the gap to 4, just about. This is exactly what I thought it would do, but not in this fashion. It went in the right direction, but not in this fashion did I think this would happen. So my first trades were in here, and I just got chopped around. I wasn't buying support. I was just trading really bad on this. I took one trade in here, and then I sold it into the close. I just traded it like poop, so I just wanted to get out of it. Like right here, I was gonna hold it overnight, but I was like, you know what? I need to get out of this position because I'm emotionally distraught with the stock. I felt like I was fighting the stock, and I just had to realize that, like, move on. I didn't even lose like I lost about, I think, 700 or 800 bucks overall on the play, and that's just about my average winner, about 800 bucks. So I figured, you know what? I took 4 trades and I only lost my average winner on the play. So you know what? Let me just get out before it gets worse and move on with my life, because there will be better plays. But and hopefully ALLR is one of them. And if not, I'm gonna book the loss and I'm going to keep it moving. And that is the name of the game. Sometimes you're gonna lose. The way you don't want to lose, I'm risking. I know what I'm risking right now, okay? I'm willing to risk this much. What you don't want to do is you only want to risk 500 and then you lose 2,000 because you don't cut a loss, you get stubborn, you fight the stock. That's a whole different story than, hey, you know what? I really like this play and I want to risk it, because if I lose on the play, it's probably not going to be detrimental to my month. But if this play works, it could be a month changer. I can immediately make $4,000, and then boom, that one day, $4,000 on the month. It like puts me up a lot ahead. But so that's how I think of it. And honestly, I could make more. There's more money to make than just $4,000 with 20,000 shares on this thing. I'll be reading the level 2 on the open when if it is surging. If it does decide to surge, it could go either way. I have about under a 40% win rate, so it's probably going to fail. But if it does, If it does go, then I will be reading the level 2, and I'll be kind of probably selling 5,000 share lots at a time and trying to ride the momentum up. Just keep riding it up, because sometimes like on CLRO, this thing goes straight up. It just straight up, just like that. And what percent of that? That's a 34% move off the open. And that's what we see a lot with this strategy that I use. So hopefully, even if we were to get like a 30% move, that would take us up to the 125 area, which I think is very doable. I think it's very possible. I think a lot of shorts got stuck in this today. That's what caused like this little float up after hours, and maybe some people added short. Who knows what they did, but it's just a play. Let's look at the daily. The one thing I don't like, you see how this looks? I don't like charts like this too much. But if we go like this, you can clearly see it's known for having big runs. Look at it, gaps up big after a big green day on volume. And this one wasn't even trading that much volume at all. But it's just known for spiking, known for running. And this is the gap I was talking about right here. There's a gap to fill to 144, never got filled. That's what I look for. When I see stuff like that, that gets me excited, because this is my strategy. First, nice green day on volume, not up that much. After a huge, move down and kind of just went sideways for a few days. After breaking, broke down, in theory, you got to think like shorts kind of piled out, and then or shorts may have got really, it was heavily shorted basically, and it recovered. It broke down, and now it's kind of recovering this little area right here that it broke down from, and now hopefully we can make a move back up. I wouldn't think it's going to run for multiple days. It's known for running multiple days, but this is not something I'm going to hold, not even past. Ideally, I want to be all out of this play at 4:30 a.m. and I want to be out into the 120s. That is like ideally, mostly. Mostly out into the 120s, maybe hold some, but that's kind of what I'm going for. And ideally, I can get out and basically risk 5 or 6 cents. The whole theory behind this play is risk 6 cents and make 25 or 20. Maybe I sell most at 20 cents and I can sell some at 40. I get out at about 127. I get like 27 cents on the play. So I can risk 1 to make 4 or more, and I have about 40% chance roughly of it working in my favor. And that's the whole idea behind the play. But I won't go too much more in depth through it. I feel like that kind of explains what I'm looking for. I feel like this is one of the easiest strategies to do. It's pretty clear cut and simple. We don't want to buy stocks that are up hundreds of percents, 100%, 70%. You buy those stocks and it's just, they're usually choppy. They usually like TRNR, for example. One thing is the stock had already made such a big move. That's why it was so choppy. It's trading so much volume. There's so many people in this play. It's just so whipsawy. And that's, when these play, you have to really try to buy support and buy breakdowns that recover on these type of trades. And I traded it like a retard. This is not how I'm supposed to trade it. And I know that. But sometimes you get emotional, and that's just how it goes. But it's about, everybody's going to get emotional. You can't say, you could be the best trader in the world. You're going to get a little bit emotional. But it's not about being emotional. It's about staying emotional. Don't stay emotional. You're going to get a little bit emotional. Okay, realize it and move on with your life. Cut the loss, get out of the stock, move on. Don't allow it to balloon. I was so unprofitable for so long because I'd have these great streaks, and then I give it all back in one day because I just get so emotional. I lose all the money. And I don't allow that to happen at all anymore. Like for the past 6 months, I haven't allowed that to happen at all. Even before that, I just didn't have edge, so I was just losing a lot. But for the last 6 months, it's been great. But I'll go ahead and get off here. I appreciate everybody for watching. Drop a comment below if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them best I can. Good luck, everybody. Let's have a good March.